Glasses on, glasses off, don't know what to be, but I've had to be a lot of different things lately in the last year, and now we're getting back to remembering how to be before we were like we've been for the last year. We are trying to get back to normal and easing into things as safely as we can, and want to thank you for watching these videos the whole doggone time. For those of you who are sticking with this routine, we will stick with this routine of reaching out to you with a video once per week to let you know about new wines that have come in, events that are happening around here, and what's being poured at the wine bar. Wine bar? Yeah, we got a wine bar going, yes. So even outside and upstairs now. So there's a lot to tell you every week in a video, and this is one way that we get to tell you. We do a newsletter, we send out occasional emails, and here's the video. So here I am, glass of wine video. I'm ready to go. Are you? Oh my, I will be telling you about this wine, but let's hold off on that. And first, approach very carefully next week's series of events, because it's kind of confusing. Next Friday, we'll start at the end. Next Friday, we're doing a private Zoom event for the Valley View Elementary School parents, not the kids, because they're not doing wine yet. We hope they're future Wine Steward customers. In the meantime, their parents get to have like parents' night out via Zoom. And what will be the topic? Spain. So that's on our website for you Valley View folks who haven't signed up yet. You can purchase your Zoom packs and hook up with us next Friday night. More meaningfully to more of you, there is an event on Wednesday night upstairs on our mezzanine for 24 people, which is also Spain. We will have no fewer than 12 wines. The list may even be growing beyond that. There will be no fewer than 12 wines from Spain. It'll be a geographical survey of this wine country, this great European wine country. We're going to go all over the place with whites and reds and discuss Spain for 2 hours, and more importantly, taste the stuff. So that'll be fantastic for some of you, because not all of you get to come. In fact, it's sold out in 2 days. I'm telling you about a sold out event for two reasons, okay? The Wednesday event, the sit-down event upstairs, is sold out. But to you who have signed up, I want you to know you can now go onto our website, thewinesteward.com, and also order a tapas platter. So if you would like, you can have like this add-on of wonderful food that goes along with these Spanish wines we'll be pouring. Now, naturally, I'll be doing my house-baked sourdough bread. That's for everybody, and we might even have another nibble or two for everybody. But if you want the whole schmear of wonderful things, we ask you to take a look at that item and order it ahead of time. Don't order it that night, because we won't have any more ready than have been pre-ordered. So order the tapas platter for next Wednesday night, those of you who have signed up. What's the other thing I want to say about next Wednesday night? I will happily replicate that event. We will do the exact same event for another 12 of you if you would like to get together with me 1 week later. So May 5th is the sold out event. May 12th, one Wednesday later. If you guys email me, if I see enough like, yes, we'll do it, yes, we'll do it, coming back to me in an email to jim@thewinesteward.com. It's kind of a test to see who's still actually watching these videos. We will happily open a bottle of every single one of these great wines one more time. Bring out the lineup, bring out the slideshow, bring out the tapas platters again, and add another 12 of you to the happy few who get to have fantastic Spanish wines with us. So, your marching orders. If you're coming already on Wednesday night, order a cheese and meat platter, the tapas platter, that is. If you can't get in, consider May 12th. It's not official yet. It depends on how many emails I get back. Okay? It's kind of a game, right? Let's see what happens. Let me have another sip. Why don't we segue into telling you one of the wines that we're going to be actually showing on that Wednesday night. Right here. This got poured to me just 1 hour ago. In fact, a vendor, I asked him, hey man, do you still have this vintage of this wine? Can you show me how it is doing lately? And this Font de la Figuera is a Priorat. Priorat is the name of a wine region. As we know, the Europeans often name their wine by location, not by putting a grape variety name on the front of the label. So Priorat, which is right there, Priorat or Priorato, is in Catalonia, Spain, on the east side. It's a really remarkable place to visit, and I've gotten to go a couple times, and a few of you out there have gotten to go with me. And in fact, many of you sat down to a wonderful lunch at Clos de Figueres and had this wine. Maybe not this vintage. We may actually have had this wine. This is a 17 now, Priorat. It consists of Garnacha and Carignan, little smidgen of Syrah, little smidgen of Cabernet, but basically the local native grapes, excuse me, Garnacha and Carignan are in full play here. This Priorat, I have to show a Priorat. I mean, we're doing a geographical survey of Spain, so how can you not do Priorat? Well, not every Priorat works for everybody, or even for me. I am an apologist for Priorat, but I will hereby admit that the region tends to make a very bombastic, overheated wine. This is classy. This is really elegant Priorat. The heat is really subdued. There's a nice syrupy texture in the mouth. Are you getting thirsty? You can't get to the event? Well, how about that second event? How about May 12th? Let's put that together. And even if you can't do either of them, we're putting this on the shelf. So you can buy this Clos de Figueres Priorat. It's gorgeous. It's lovely. It's right around $45 or $46 before your wine club discount. It's being poured at the Spain event. What else is being poured at the Spain event, and why is this thing sitting here? What is it after all? I should be showing you with the little handle there. There it is. Now you can see most of it, I think. This is called a Harrah. It's fun to roll your R's. It's a double R, so you roll the R's a lot with that word. Harrah, it's basically a wine jar. It's kind of the ancestor to the decanter. And if you wanted to air out your wine, you would put your red wine into a Harrah in Spain. Well, these are still sold all over Spain. They're cute, and they're also fun to use. You can use them. I got this one in Calatayud. I have several of these. They're great for decanting, and they're kind of cool, right? The fact of the matter is, I have it up here to work on this ever-growing dilemma. I'm gonna be pouring this Ribera del Duero from Arzuaga, and it is a Reserva. There's a lot of R's there, aren't there? The 2016 just got here. I told you last week I was going to pour the Crianza. We're taking it up a notch. Crianza can stay on the shelf. We only have 3 cases left anyway. Forget that. We are going to do the Reserva, baby. And I want to figure out whether or not I should decant it ahead of time. Should you have wine poured straight from an immediately uncorked bottle into your glass, or should we get it more ready for you? Like, it's a philosophical dilemma that we in the wine business often treat. It is a problem for us. Like, should we be giving the customer what they at home will be having straight out of the bottle, or should we recommend decanting and put that into practice by getting this wine a little bit more ready? So maybe I'll be using the Harrah, maybe I won't, but this wine certainly wants it because it's a youngster. Not hard to drink, but right now, here's the oak, here's the fruit, and I know those things are going to get together with time. They will integrate, but right now they're 2 different pieces, and they're wonderful, delicious pieces, but this wine needs to go into here, I think. So I may be using the Harrah. I'm going to leave it there, here in my office, reminding me of my dilemma. At any rate, bitchin' wine, really good. We are going to have some fantastic Spanish wines that night. I should mention real quick a food item that we're going to have, because we haven't told you yet that we have a new chorizo. So chorizo is Spain's answer to Italy's salami, you could say. It's not the same as Mexican chorizo. It's dry and cured. And we have 2 new ones that are not made here in the US, but actually in Spain. You know, the FDA actually has to go over and inspect a plant in order for meat products to come from a foreign country and, approved to sell in the US. Apparently that's happened here. We finally have true Spanish chorizo. You guys got to try this stuff. Palacios, it's really good. It comes in picante, a little hot, and original, which is a little more mild. This is wonderful. It differs from our chorizo sarta that I told you about many times before. with consistency. It has a different feel to it, a very authentic one. Really lovely chorizo. Check them out, and you'll get to have them at the Spain event. There's one more thing to tell you about the Spain event. If you go onto the website, thewinesteward.com, you see that yet another product is offered. Not the PTA event, not the live event, but a Zoom event. So next Thursday, like if you can't come on Wednesday, or if you'd rather stay home and have a little wine party with your friends on the back patio, we've got a 6-bottle Spanish wine sampler that you can buy ahead of time, take home, and then we invite you to our Zoom event. So we're doing Spain a lot next week. I don't mind. I don't mind even doing it 1 week later. I know I've belabored the Spain point enough. Let me have another sip and tell you that I haven't belabored it enough, because here is a wine that's going to come in next week. The list of things we're going to show in those events is already full, like over full. Enough inspiration. So I cannot necessarily squeeze this into the lineup for the events, but this is Pavina. This is a Pinot Noir Rosé from Spain. I've never had one. There's like virtually no freaking such thing. This one is like the first one we've ever had. It is really lovely. Poured to me by that same vendor who just showed me the Priorat. We're bringing it in next week. It's not here yet. Don't come asking this weekend. Next Tuesday it arrives. My glass is getting low. Pavina from High Elevation. We told you about a Spanish Pinot Noir last week. This is its rosé sibling or counterpart. Really lovely. 100% Pinot Noir rosé from Spain. Bone dry, velvety. I'm tasting it a little bit too warm, but I don't mind. It's revealing everything that way. Very mild, silky palate. A little bit of the mineral effect. Like I was saying last week, this region here, this part of land, this estate that the guy owns has far more rock than actual dirt. And so you are supposed to hopefully feel a little bit of mineral grief, good grief in the palate. Lovely wine. All right. Now, let's tell you a quick commercial break about a product that has nothing to do with Spain, but about its neighbor, Portugal. It's in this. It's protected because it's pretty and it's pretty expensive. But what is in here? Look here and you see 1994. That's interesting. This wine is kind of old. Well, what kind of wine ages that long? How about port? The real stuff from Portugal. How about some of the best ports ever made? A half bottle of Fonseca and a half bottle of Taylor Fladgate, complete with what appears to be bird crap on the bottle, but this is actually a marker system used, a very authentic old world kind of way of inventorying port back in the day. So they still do it with these bottles. Taylor Fladgate, 100 points from several critics. Also, this 1994, 100 points from several critics. Whenever they weren't hundreds, they were 99s or 98s. These two vintage ports, as you may well know, they only bottle vintage ports about 3 times per decade when the vintage is exceptional. These two bottles are in this box and sold as a pair. They are half bottles. This is Marvelous Wine, 1994. These are vintage ports that are ready to love. So consider, I know it's not for everybody based on the higher price. Pardon me, I have to cough. But I know of people out there who will be genuinely interested in accessing this good stuff. So beautiful box, and open one of these on a special night and another one on another special night. Or if you get enough people around, do a side-by-side tasting of these 100-point ports, okay? Taylor Fladgate and Fonseca. And as I was reading all the reviews, I was seeing time after time, best Taylor ever made. Best Fonseca since 1970, whatever. So these are remarkable, and the critics are agog. Another commercial break. How about saying a big happy birthday to my daughter and a big congratulations to my niece and her soon-to-be husband, Matt, her groom. Alyssa and Matt get married today in Sonol, and kudos to you guys. Thank you for having a rehearsal dinner with us yesterday, and happy birthday to Mary. Why are we getting so familial? Because Mary Denham, in fact, has a business that we've talked about before called Bloom's End, and there's a freezer downstairs which is packed often, ideally, with product that you can go home and bake up. There are scones. There are, look at this, Manchego Gougere. So instead of using the typical Comté or Gruyere cheese in Gougere, she has creatively applied the Spanish cheese Manchego to her Gruyere recipe, Gougere recipe, I should say. And oh boy, look at these candied Meyer lemon and currant scones. They're nearly done. All you have to do is heat up the oven and get them going, bake them up. You look like a pro. This is to announce that the birthday girl, even though it's her, I should say birthday woman, even though it's her birthday, she got in here very, very early this morning, restocked that freezer. She rents kitchen time and space over in Sausalito. She lives in San Anselmo, and so she's been doing with Bloom's End all kind of custom cakes order. She's doing today's wedding cake, by the way, and she can do that for you, or birthday cakes. She can deliver wonderful things to you. She does pop-ups all over the Bay Area. If you want to follow her on Facebook, look for Mary Denham or Bloom's End. Bloom's End. Let's show you that name one more time. This is a rapidly growing business. In fact, I think it's reached saturation at least as far as it can grow based on it still being a one-woman show. She may have to start hiring people. Right on. There's a couple more things that have absolutely nothing to do with each other to tell you, as we have a rather scattered video today. I don't care. This wine is back. I want to just tell you that we have been dealing with the crazy, crazy problem of shipping, as of many industries. Trying to get things from Europe over the last couple of months has been like a disastrous difficulty. And we've been missing the likes of this. This is a cava that I love from Mercat, a producer that I got to visit a long time ago. I love this particular cava for its dryness. It is a brut nature, meaning it's drier than a brut. I love its attack. If you don't like to be so attacked by cava, you can opt for their other bottling, which is also now finally returned to the wine steward. It's the Mercat Brut, and it has a slightly different, kind of a grayish looking label. But beautiful label, it starts there. The wine is beautiful. The price is beautiful, very affordable, well under $20. Mercat Brut, it's back. This is just to say that the shipping thing, we are conquering it. How about another wine I just got here from France? 2018 Bordeaux. We don't promote Bordeaux like we used to. There's other people who are just more effective at it in the game because they go and do the futures thing. Well, we don't, but we have friends who show us fantastic Bordeaux, and I just made a play for one case of this. This is a Pomerol from Chateau Monvielle, and it is going to be, I believe, 60% Merlot, 40% Cab Franc. It might be 80-20, I can't remember, something like that. But the ratings are fantastic. The vintage is fantastic, and that's all I needed. I normally love to taste wine on your behalf before putting them in front of you. That's how we vouch for the wines. Sometimes, very occasionally, we have to do the math. We look at a couple great scores. We also know whether or not the vintage is fantastic, as 2018 is for Bordeaux. Doing all the math of ratings and that, and also a credible provider, the people that we've been buying Bordeaux from all these years. That's why I brought in this Pomerol. It's not inexpensive. It's not over the top expensive. It should be delicious. This bottle's going home with me. There's 11 left. All right, how about somewhat of a theme to finish up with? The theme will be new Pinot Noir, okay? I actually have one of them open. This Pinot is meant to get here today. I certainly hope the truck shows up today and not on Monday. Sometimes things don't work out. But here's a label name that may be familiar to you, but a varietal name that perhaps is not like what you would associate with Dow. Dow is a producer in Paso Robles. What do we know about Paso? It's hot. Paso makes wonderful, big, full-blown Cabernets and a lot of great Rhone varieties as well. But what about Pinot? Like, Pinot doesn't really like hot weather. We do know Adelaida has been successful with making Pinot Noir in that area, and in fact, Dow is in that area. But once I learned more about this wine, it turns out that Dow left Paso Robles with a truck and went down to Santa Maria and Santa Rita Hills to get the fruit for this particular Pinot Noir. Those are kind of like high rent districts for Pinot. They are fantastic for Pinot, but you're going to pay a bit more. This is actually going to be pretty darn affordable. I think we're going to be around $24 before Wine Club discount for Dow Pinot Noir. I didn't buy it for price. I bought it for what it says and the surprise that there is a Dow Pinot Noir that I like. I mean, this is obviously not from Paso. beautiful, fully ripe fruit, but not cooked. And yet, a lot of you are going to like this as a kind of a cocktail style Pinot Noir. It's going to be making a lot of people happy, I promise. So there's Dow, check that out. So we are no longer in the realm of $24. We are going to take you to a new project. I don't know which side to show you because this label is kind of cool on both ends. This is called Chev, and it's made by Michael Brown, and you might know him better as part of a double name, Costa Brown. Well, Costa Brown sold. Michael Brown went off and is now doing his own thing here. And this is definitely a Costa Brown quality wine. The price is up there as well. But if you admire Costa Brown Pinot Noir, you will love this Russian River wine. It is not shy, it is rich, but it's richness done right. Beautiful cherry fruit, kind of a wild strawberry pastry thing going on. The palate feel is the big accomplishment here. As wonderful as it smells, you're gonna love the way it feels. You're gonna love the way you look. Remember that guy? You're gonna love the way this feels on your palate. Regardless of which side of the bottle you're looking at, you should inquire about Chev Pinot Noir. It's the next like higher end Pinot that we are very proud to have at the store. Now let's reset for the last wine of the day. Let's bring Pinot Noir back down to an area where many of you are comfortable with paying. And I've seen that a lot of you will buy up to maybe $35 for a wonderful Pinot Noir that's different, that's distinctively great. Distinctively great just happened here for us. I tasted this 3 days ago. This really cool, distinctively great label. I think the label design is pretty awesome. 100 Suns Pinot Noir. This comes from the Willamette Valley. Willamette Valley, damn it. Willamette of Oregon. And by the way, when you encounter these wax capsules, you're wondering, how do I peel all this crap off? Don't peel it off. Normally, it's the best thing to do is to go straight through the cork and pull that cork up about halfway, and then make sure you don't have any wax crumbs. It depends on the wax type, but this one's coming up nice and clean, as you can see. And then do it the rest of the way. Maybe blow off any potential crumbs. I don't see any crumbs. We're good. And voila, you didn't have to do any wax carving here. So 100 Suns Pinot Noir. I love this wine. You will too if you have a preference for discretion and maybe Pinot Noir from the US that has a memory of Europe. What I mean is, when I taste this wine, I remember Burgundy, but I remember actually in particular Beaujolais. Now, Beaujolais is made out of Gamay, right? These guys actually grow Gamay up there. I gotta finish this. No, I'll pour it here. I'll make a Rosé Pinot blend. There we go. Check that out later. Okay, 100 Suns, here we come. I had it 2 days ago. Let's see if it tastes the same now out of another bottle. Oh yeah. I mean, we expect Oregon Pinot Noir to be not quite so saucy and rich as, say, the Russian River Valley. That's what we want. We are often thinking of eating with such wines, rotisserie chicken, sausages, things like that. This has wonderful fruit, but it's got that interesting funk and mystique of a great Gamay, like a cru Gamay, a cru Beaujolais. Like, would it be Morgon? Would it be Moulin Avant? Renier? Chirouble? Chenin? I can name all 10 on a good day. It's not... when I'm 2 glasses in, I can name all 10 of the Beaujolais cru. But I'd rather just slurp this. This is super elegant, juicy. I tell you what, sausages off the grill, do that. It's going to be a beautiful weekend. You don't necessarily want ponderous, heavy-duty Cabernet. You should have this. Put a ever so slight chill on this wine, or just put it in your red wine cellar if you have one of those. And upon taking it out at about, 58 degrees, this wine will be gorgeous. And have it in a big glass like this. I'm leaving now. Thank you. Consider that Spain idea, all right? Next week is sold out. The Zoom event is not sold out, and nor is the theoretical May 12th event, which replicates the sit-down one, okay? Hope you listened and understood all this. I'm very grateful. Hope you hit the Bloom's End products. Hope you try the new chorizo. Happy birthday, Mary. Congratulations to Alyssa and Matt, and thank you very much for watching. Have a fantastic weekend.